As if Andy Samberg didn't already have enough Saturday Night Live-induced anxiety, he just found out there was an accidental error in his most recent digital short for the sketch show. The SNL alum had big roles in the 50th anniversary celebrations earlier this month, including teaming up with current cast member Bowen Yang for a musical tribute to one thing that has remained a constant on the show for 5 decades: crippling anxiety among cast members. However, on a recent episode of The Lonely Island and Seth Meyers' podcast, the Brooklyn Nine-Nine star was informed of a mistake in the video that nobody who worked on it had noticed. Seth Meyers informed his former co-star that a listener had written in to point out that in the short, titled Anxiety, the building's marquee flashed on the screen with 30 Rockefeller Plaza in neon instead of Rockefeller. So there was an A instead of an E, and asked if they'd missed the joke. "Whoa," Samberg replied in surprise. "They maybe misspelled it." The late-night host seemed surprised that it wasn't intentional. "Oh really, it was an accidental misspell?" he asked. "That might be up, yeah," Samberg said. "Because the current sign, I think, says Jimmy Fallon on it or something, so we had to change it." The video begins with Yang confessing his nerves about attending the anniversary special, before the Lonely Island member reassures him through an 80s-inspired bop that every single person who ever worked at SNL had anxiety. About 30 seconds in, Samberg sings "I Know You're Anxious Just Looking at the 30 Rock sign," as Yang nervously glances at the building's iconic neon signage, which misspells out 30 ROCKFELLER. "I'm gonna text Mike Diva about that right now. He's the director of the short," Samberg declared on the podcast, on which he has frequently boasted about achieving the highest score on the New York Times Spelling Bee game. Meyers teased that it was really very funny in the SNL50 that your short misspelled Rockefeller Plaza. The building has housed SNL's Studio 8H for the last 5 decades. "I mean, I didn't even think about even looking at it to check," Samberg said, before comically confirming, "We changed the Pepto-Bismol labels to say SNL. And I noticed that those were spelled right." On the podcast, Samberg stated, "I wouldn't be surprised if we go back in there and fix it." And that has proven to be true. Since the episode's release on Monday, the typo is now fixed in the YouTube version of Anxiety, above, although Rockefeller remains on the X version. Samberg, who joined the cast in 2005, recently opened up about the mental and physical health reasons that led to his quietly leaving after the season 37 finale in May 2012, only confirming his official exit weeks later. "Physically, it was taking a heavy toll on me, and I got to a place where I was like I hadn't slept in 7 years basically," Samberg told Kevin Hart on interview series Heart to Heart last year. "It was a big choice. For me, it was like, I can't actually endure it anymore. But I didn't want to leave," Samberg admitted. "Physically and emotionally, like I was falling apart in my life." Sign up for Entertainment Weekly's free daily newsletter to get breaking TV news, exclusive first looks, recaps, reviews, interviews with your favorite stars, and more. Samberg returned to SNL several times in its current season 50, portraying then-second gentleman Doug Emhoff opposite former co-star Maya Rudolph's Kamala Harris. He shared on a previous episode of The Lonely Island and Seth Meyers' podcast that although it's been really fun going back, the experience had also led to him re-inheriting the stress of the high-pressure live comedy show. In addition to the Anxiety short during SNL50, the anniversary special, Samberg also took part in Marcelo Hernandez's latest Domingo sketch, performing alongside Yang, fellow alums Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett, and Sabrina Carpenter. He also took the stage 2 nights prior during SNL50, the homecoming concert at Radio City Music Hall, to sing a medley of Lonely Island tunes, including Dick in a Box with Lady Gaga. Check out the full episode of The Lonely Island and Seth Meyers' podcast below. SNL returns with host Shane Gillis and musical guest Tate McRae Saturday at 11:30 p.m. ET/8:30 p.m. PT on NBC and Peacock.